Nightwing 132. The writer of the series is Dan Waters, who's worked on Detective Comics, Lucifer, and Homesick Pilots. The artist is Dexter Soy, who's worked on Red Hood and the Outlaws, Suicide Squad, and Batman and the Outsiders. The colorist is Veronica Gandini, and the letter is Wes Abbott. Katie.
Yes.
I think we've been pretty high on this run of Nightwing.
We sure have.
We quite liked the last issue. This is a little bit of a ramp up issue, I'd say.
It is. Part 2 of, I think, a really important arc for this run, because Dan Waters started seeding the kind of clues and the little bits of the Cirque du Soleil all the way back in, I think, one of his first issues of Nightwing on this run. And we have actual confrontations happening with the Cirque du Soleil themselves. Like, it's not, through the facade of Spheric or through, kind of nefarious or tangential means. This is Nightwing actually going face to face with Olivia Pierce as a bad guy, which I think is really exciting. I think that there is a lot of good in this. I think that it has kind of a lot to do as a ramp-up issue, but the way that it ends off has me so hyped. That's exactly the type of thing that I love to see happen in a comic book. I'm like, yes, this is, a trope that I will never grow old with. Like, I love this trope anytime it happens. I think it's so fun. Which, obviously speaking around it, but if you're a fan of the pod, you've probably heard me talk about this, the way that a hero relates to a city. I like this situation.
I feel like you talk about a lot in like our Batman reviews. Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like Batman has been very much in the good graces of Gotham for a long time, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, not anymore. Not in the current run with Vandal Savage as police commissioner for some reason.
Yeah, however the fuck that happened.
However that happened. Made no fucking sense.
So I really liked this issue, and I think that we've complimented Dexter Soy to the moon and back with, like, his rad action.
Yeah.
And I think that it works so well in these, like, nighttime settings that this Nightwing book lives in.
This was such a good Dexter Soy issue. Like, this is an issue of, like, he's kind of in his bag right now. Like, he's doing some really, really rad stuff.
There's some really fun visuals.
Yeah. And just really, really effective for, like, when the tide turns or when there's, like, a big kind of, like, changing moment in the fight. And, like, I've talked about that a lot in fight scenes, but, like, it's nice when it's not just kind of, because this is a really long fight scene.
Yeah.
So
when you most of the issue.
It's most of the issue. It's probably like the first 2/3 of the issue or something like that. So when you have that super long fight scene, it's nice when it's not just, and they fight for 16 pages. It's like, and here are the turns, and I feel like they did a really, really great job with that. And then obviously we have where we get to in the end, which is a like big kind of shift for our characters. So talking about the thing that Katie mentioned, but it is certainly something that I think is going to be very interesting to see where it goes. I mean, if I was to throw out a, like, slight criticism, obviously we kind of knew we were coming here with Nightwing Prime being hit by kryptonite in the last issue, but we did kind of just, like, sideline him so that he wouldn't be involved in this issue, and, like,
and it's like, at that point, why did we have him?
Exactly. So I thought it was a great issue in a vacuum and in, like, the overarching story, but in reference to the fact that we just came from setting up all this Nightwing Prime stuff, and then it's just like, and he's kind of removed for this issue. I think that can maybe be the slight
removed
criticism.
Maybe for a hot minute.
Yeah. Probably.
I think that's super fair.
My guess is throughout the rest of this arc, and we'll probably reckon with him again next arc.
Hopefully, because I really like Nightwing Prime.
I like that's the thing. Like, I feel like they did such a good job building up Nightwing Prime and creating Nightwing Prime. That's like, and now he's not in this issue.
I will say I did love Olivia in her little knockoff Nightwing costume. I guess knockoff isn't true.
I like that, but I do also like...
What I was leading to is I really like that she's like, I could be Flamebird, and I'm like, that's cute. That's cute, Dan Waters.
my thing is just always like the it studied your moves, and then they fight nothing like the person that they're like that it's replicating, like using a completely different weapon. Like how are you doing
Yeah,
that?
it's also there's also a sense of like, oh, it studied your moves. It's like, okay, but you know the important thing is knowing when to do what moves. Like, because
And I also like I don't remember him actually fighting a ton in the like the building.
well,
thing.
he fought.
He fought a couple like other Nightwings.
Yeah.
But I feel like it changed into like the him dealing with Nightwing Prime stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah,
And
especially because he didn't fight Haley despite the amazing
and these are like very like I feel like that like Dan Waters does such a phenomenal job on this Nightwing run that I am being very nitpicky with my nitpicks. Like none of these stop me from utterly loving this series, but I do like to point out the few things where I'm like, oh, that's a little bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah, I do also think that it's a little bit unnecessary with this villain to like need to know his fighting style. Like, no, like you were a criminal as a kid, and you have been doing evil things for a while. It's not like,
and you've had this vendetta for a long time, so you could always have like and then I studied you. Yeah, exactly.
It's like
I think I prefer that rather than like the suit studied you. Like,
yeah,
I find it much more believable that somebody could.
Was mostly like a. Now she gets to use. It gave a reason for there to be a nefarious thing behind her lending the suit. Like, I don't know that I feel like there could have been something else in there, maybe. Like, maybe it like stole his biometrics
like
in some
we're
way.
just trying to get in his good graces, or like you know, like there was enough there. Again, this super nitpicky. This is. I feel like we've been very complimentary of Dan Waters since it, but I do feel like this book has taken a step up recently. You know, like I feel like the last few issues, specifically since we kind of started doing the Nightwing Prime stuff, where like I feel like they've really found their footing now, and it feels now like genuinely one of the books that I'm really excited for every month. Yeah, so it's very good.
I don't know. I've been so excited about it for like the full almost year that they've been working on it together now. Over a year?
I enjoy it a lot. I think that like as the kind of seeds that we planted are starting to like actually lead to
That's
things,
very fair. That's very fair.
It's just it feels very
so good
now,
the whole time.
You know, like I feel very rewarded now for having been read.
Really fair.
Been reading.
Having been reading it, yeah.
Dan Waters' run on the character and Dexter's story. I think Dexter's story's done literally everything aside from that little 2-issue part.
Yeah, and the annual, but you know.
Yeah, but the annual I was trying because I was like, should I say anything? Because I was like, how many issues? And I'm like, no, Dexter's story's definitely done almost every single.
It's been a lot. So. I think that it's been 12 issues now. I think they jumped on with 119 or 120.
So so then you give 2. So Dexter's story's done like either 11 out of 13 or 10 out of 12, wherever we are. One of those.
And is doing an amazing job.
Yeah,
so good.
No, I think Dexter's story is super well suited for. I mean, I don't think I've read Dexter's stories, Red Hood and the Outlaws, like any of when he was on Red Hood and the Outlaws, but I would actually really like to read them because I feel like every time I read one of these issues, I'm like, Dexter's story feels like a really good Red Hood artist. Like like that's just the vibe I get every issue. So I feel like I gotta go read that and just see if I'm correct.
Hell yeah, little Dexter's Story book club. But if you like us talking about Dan Waters, you'll like even more when we talk to Dan Waters. Be sure you check out the interview we had with Dan a long time ago now. It was before Shredder came out. It was about how hyped we were about Nightwing, all that good stuff and more in that interview. And make sure you hit subscribe to add us to your pull list. As always, we'll see you next week.
Comic Geeks.